God, for the praise that has gone up, for the progress that has been made in the right one, Dr. Collins. We thank you, Father God, for not being finished with us yet. Working with us day in and day out, morning every morning. We see brand new mercies that we do not take for granted. And so, Father God, we just stop by and say we love you. We pause out of our busy schedule and say thank you. We place you first at the beginning of our week, at the top of the day, saying, God, we come to worship you in spirit and in truth. So we ask, God, that you would accept our worship. May it be a blessing in your eyes. We thank you for ordering our steps and making the pathway plain. So at this moment, at this time, I ask you to take these weak, feeble, mundane, ordinary words of mine. May your Holy Spirit breathe new life into them, Father God, and make them thine. This is our prayer. And we thank you for this wonderful worship. In Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Won't you turn with me on this Sunday morning to the Gospel according to John. John chapter 20. And if you have it, please stand with me in John chapter 20, beginning at verse 24. John chapter 20, beginning at verse 24. John chapter 20, beginning at verse 24. Amen. The New King James Version of the text simply says, Now Thomas, called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Jesus came. The other disciples therefore said to him, We have seen the Lord. So he, Thomas, said to them, Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. And after the 8 days, Jesus' disciples were again inside, and Thomas with them. Jesus came, the door being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Peace to you. Then he said to Thomas, Reach your finger here, and look at my hand. And reach your hand here, and put it in my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing. And Thomas answered and said to him, My Lord and my God. Jesus said to him, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. But blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. As you go to your seat this morning, verse 27 says, Then he said to Thomas, Reach your finger here and look at my hand, and reach your hand here and put it in my side. I want to tag this text and call it, I'm still here. I'm still here. Right. Brother Carter, picture in your anointed imagination 2 friends on a long-distance road trip, and on this trip they stop to refresh themselves and possibly grab something to eat. Once settled to rest, they agreed to meet back at the car in approximately 20 minutes. The friend who had the car keys let the other friend know that if you're not back in the suggested time, I will still be here waiting for you. The other friend reluctantly agreed. He actually wanted to trust his friend with the car keys. After all, they were on a road trip together and traveled a long way from home. He wanted to trust a friend, but there was always the thought in the back of his mind that he would be left in the middle of nowhere all by himself. Well, this paranoid friend took precaution. Only after a few moments of resting and refreshing, the wearisome friend dashed back to the car in hope that he would not be left behind on this road trip. In his rushing, he ended up coming back in 15 minutes rather than 20. Once he got back to the car, to his amazement, the car was empty. No driver, no keys. There was no one to be found in or around the car. After about 3 minutes, his friend, who actually had the keys, appeared. Looking shocked at his worrisome friend, he asked, "Why do you look so? Why do you look so weary? Why are you surprised? I did not leave you. Why didn't you believe me? I am still here." The trustworthy friend was trying to assure his traveling buddy that there was nothing to worry about. "I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to trick you. I'm not going to have you put your trust in me and then let you down. I will be true to my word. I'm still here." And just like the worrisome friend, many of us, my wife and our Joppa family, need to be reminded God is still here. When so many so-called friends get missing when you need them the most, when family members lost their last mind, God is still here. After all this time, even in the midst of all your worry, in the midst of fearful situations, when the money is low and cost of living is still high, God is still here. At our lowest possible moments, when nobody else is around, God is still here. He becomes what you stand in need of every day. Oh, God, the strong tower, the divine comforter, the heart fixer, the need supplier, being what I need every step of the way, or being the intellectual stabilizer of my mind. He became what you needed, and the promise is this morning, He's still here. God was there when no one else was. At your loneliest moment, when you're between depression and self-destruction, between a bad decision and a lifelong regret, God reminds you that no matter how lost you think you are, how low you feel that day, no matter how bad you've become, He's the one who will stick with you closer than any friend. And because He sticks with you, you can fight depression. You can overcome physical ailments. You become better than disease. You don't have to succumb to someone else's negative opinion of you. You can get past mistakes and live every day as the way God intended. You don't have to worry no more. How many times this morning have you been the worrisome person? Worried about the details no one else seems to give a second thought about. Stressing over the things and situations, and you're the only one thinking about it. The only one losing sleep, the only one not eating, the only one caring too much, the only one giving all you got and then some, the only one making an extra effort, the only one stressing over stress, making it so bad that you find it hard just to believe in the faith. In the Gospel of John, we find an individual named Thomas, who's had a hard time believing in the faith. He's having difficulty with understanding that there is one who is real without any games or gimmicks behind him. It's hard to have faith in the idea that there is one who has come to be of eternal assistance and not to promote pipe dreams just to leave you hanging in the end. He's the real one named Jesus, who is the promise keeper and soul sustainer, one who accepts you without any apprehension or restriction. For Thomas, it was hard to believe in the one who claims to be real, so instead of believing, Thomas now doubts. He lets us know through his actions in the text that he's comfortable in his doubt. It's easy to live in doubt. I am familiar with my doubt, so I'm going to stick with it. It's the only thing I know. My doubts are consistent, so I don't have to step away from them. I'll stay right where I am, doubting everything that comes my way. In the beginning of our text, Thomas doubts initially because he was not there to see for himself the one who is real. He can't see it, and since he can't see it, then he won't believe it. Hold on here, Thomas. I got a question for you. How can you doubt it and you weren't even there to see it for yourself? How can you be critical of it and never experience it for you? We have to talk to Thomas and let him know what's going on this morning. The disciples who were present testified and said, "Hey, I saw it. We saw it all. We saw the Lord, and yes, He is the real thing." Let's not forget in verse 24, Thomas missed his chance to see Jesus for himself, and then had the audacity to complain about it even after what others told him what happened.